Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Pure Crochets. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate all of you. On today's tutorial, we are creating this beautiful dress using the most simple stitches. It's a very easy tutorial, I promise you guys, and this is the close-up of the dress. Kindly remember to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, comment, like and share. This is a picture of the close-up of the dress. As I promised you, is an easy tutorial, so let's get started. We are using 100% milk cotton yarn, and every yarn that I use is milk cotton yarn. Each yarn is 50 grams, so you'll need white yarn, orange yarn, brown yarn. Alright, we are only using 3 types of yarn. To crochet, you'll need a 5.0 mm hook, you'll need a pair of scissors, a darning needle, stitch marker, a tape measure, and as I said earlier, we are using a 5.0 mm hook to crochet. Okay, so using your 5.0 mm hook, kindly chains as long as the height that you want for your dress. So let's just draw down how you're going to work. First, you need to take your shoulder measurements, and that means from your shoulder area all the way to where you want your dress to reach. Okay, so this is the front panel, and also you'll need a back panel. We're going to work into front panel, back panel, and then sleeves. So one of this is the front panel, this is the back panel. You have a sleeve here and another sleeve there. All right, so you need to take measurements from this shoulder area all the way to the length that you want, and mine is knee length. All right, that's what I mean by saying take your measurements from the shoulder all the way to where you want your work to be. All right, and that is the foundation chain that we'll be working from. Okay, then from there we'll attach the 2 front panels, attach the sleeves, and then we will continue with the work. And mark you, we're going to work according to your hips measurements. That's all you needed, hips measurements plus 2 inches. All right, so I'm hoping this is clear, so let's get started. As I said, take measurements of your shoulder area all the way to where you want your work to reach, then chain as long as that is from the shoulder area all the way to your knee area or your thigh area or to your legs. So chain as long as you want your work to be. All right, then I'll meet you once you're done. So guys, this is how long I want my work to be. Mine reached on the knee area. Then after there, we are now going in with a row of double crochets. All right, so someone told me my work is not clear, so I'm really trying to make everything clear. Yarn over, skip the hook on the stitch, go to the next stitch and do double crochets, and we are working double crochets in all the stitches that you have. I will meet you at the end of this row of double crochets. So as I said earlier, to do a double crochet, yarn over, skip this first stitch, go to the next stitch and do a double crochet like this, and you're going to work double crochets across all the stitches that you have. I will meet you at the end of this row of double crochets. I am done with my row of double crochets, and now we are going to start on the pattern. So to begin the pattern of the dress, you will chain 3, 1 2 3. All right, yarn over, go in the same space that holds chain 3. Okay, you can see this is chain 3. With this same space, go in there with a double crochet like that. Chain 1, yarn over, skip 2 stitches, go in the 3rd stitch, 1 2, the 3rd stitch, do a double crochet and do a 2nd double crochet in the same space like that. Chain 1, yarn over, skip 2 stitches, 1 2, on the 3rd go in with a double crochet like that, yarn over, go in the same space with another double crochet. Chain 1, yarn over, skip 2, go in the next chain, do a double crochet, yarn over, do a 2nd double crochet in the same space. Chain 1, yarn over, skip 2, 1 2, on the 3rd go in with a double crochet like this, yarn over, do a 2nd double crochet in the same space. Chain 1. And that's the pattern, and we're going to work like this until the end of this row. I will meet you at the end of the row. So we are almost at the end of our row, and let me just show you how we complete. I just finished my 2 double crochets here. So of course I said you chain 1, yarn over, and go in this last stitch here. We'll have 1 2 stitches left. Just keep, if you have 1 stitch left, just keep it and go to the last stitch and do a double crochet like this. As you can see, my work only had 1 stitch left, so I just skipped it, go to the last stitch and do a double crochet. After a double crochet, kindly chain 3, turn your work, and in this first space here that holds chain 3, there's a space here, so go in the space and do a double crochet like that. Okay, chain 1, yarn over, and now we are working in between these spaces. So go in the next space, do 2 double crochets, 1, yarn over, go in with the 2nd double crochet like that. Chain 1, yarn over, go in the next space with 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 1, yarn over, go in the next space with 2 double crochets, 1 and 1 and 2. Sorry, let's just repeat this again. So we are going into each space with 2 double crochets, and please note, after your 2 double crochets, always chain 1. So it's 2 double crochets in each space, then a chain 1, 2 double crochets, then a chain 1. So I will meet you at the end of this row. So guys, we're almost at the end of our work. I just go in the last space here with the 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and always, I said, you always chain 1 after your 2 double crochets. Let's just restart this. So that is 1 double crochet, do the 2nd double crochet, chain 1. As you can see, there's 1 double crochet left here, so just go to the chain 3. Okay, just go to the chain 3 like this and do a double crochet. If it's too hard for you to go in between the chain 3, you can just go in the little space. So just go in with a double crochet like that. Okay, once you're done with that, you chain 3, turn your work around. All right, and on this chain 3 space, we are always going in there with 1 double crochet. Okay, then chain 1 and then go to the next space and do 2 double crochets and a chain 1 in every space. So right now we're just working into spaces, and in each space you go in with 2 double crochets and a chain 1. That is the pattern, and I will meet you at the end of this row. So guys, we're almost at the end of my work, and at the end here we have 1 space, so go in with 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and I always say you chain 1, yarn over, and now you go on top of this chain 3. Always close your work on top of chain 3 to make sure your work is straight. Okay, so you go on top of this chain 3 here like this with a double crochet, and to begin a new row you chain 3. Please make sure your work is straight and make sure you're not increasing your work at the end. So you chain 3, then just go in that first space there with the double crochet to complete the pattern, then go to the next space with 2 double crochets and a chain 1. So this is the pattern, and we're going to work like this until we change color. I will meet you once we're changing our color. Mark you, we are working like this until your work reaches your hips measurements plus 2 inches. Okay, my hips measurement is 41, so I'm going to do 41 plus 2 inches. That's how long we are going to work. Okay, your hips measurements plus 2 inches, because we don't want our work to be tight, we want some baggish vibe. So that's how we're going to work. As I said earlier, I will meet you when we're changing our yarn color. All right, so as you can see, I worked some 6 rows, and now I want to incorporate in white yarn, and this is how we are making the white yarn. All right, at the end here of chain 3, we'll just, instead of yarning over and do chain 3, we yarn in over a new yarn. All right, as you can see, we're using orange yarn to yarn over, but now we incorporate in the white yarn, and we'll leave a little tail for the orange yarn and cut off. As you can see, I left a tail. Cut off your yarn, and now we incorporate in the new white yarn. So it's the same pattern. You're going into that chain 3 space and do 1 double crochet, chain 1, then go in the next space and do 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 1, go in the next space with 2 double crochets and a chain 1. It's the same pattern over and over again. So I will show you once again to change yarn, and that's how we are going to work. As I said earlier, we are going to work until your hips measurement plus 2 inches if you want a baggy dress, but if you want a tight dress, just work up to your hips measurements. Guys, I'm done with my work, and this is how long it is. I went ahead and put two extension on the top of my work. That is the shoulder area. I will show you how to do it. So please note, do two panels, the front panel and the back panel. Both panels should be the same length and the same width. Okay, so once you have the one front panel and one back panel, I'm gonna show you how to put the shoulder areas. So to put the shoulder area, take your front panel or back panel and fold it into two like this. Please make sure your work should be equally divided, then fold it again like this. So the first fold, again the second fold. Please make sure your work is well aligned, and then take a stitch marker, and we're going to put a stitch marker at the middle of your work. I'm just making sure my work is well aligned, and then put your stitch marker here, and another one in the inner side. So in the outer side and in the inner side of your work. Okay, it should be at the corners, at the first corner and the second corner like this. Okay, I'm really struggling with this stitch marker. I don't know why, but yep, it has to go in for you to have the perfect shoulder areas. So once you open your work, it should be like this. You should have two stitch markers like this. As you can see, one is here and the other one is here. So once you open your work around, it should be something like that. Okay, all right, so now let's work on the shoulder areas. To work on the shoulder areas, we're still using the same hook size, and we're just going to do 3 rows of the you can call it granny square stitch. So as always, to begin your row, always chain 3. Please do not cut off your yarn after you've reached your required hips measurements plus 2 inches. Chain 3. On this first space, you go in with 1 double crochet. As always, chain 1. So go in the next space and do 2 double crochets as we've been working, plus a chain 1. Then go in the next space, do 2 double crochets and a chain 1, and I will meet you once we are at the stitch marker. Guys, we are the stitch marker, and you can see the pattern is the same. Once you get to this stitch marker, we are now turning our work at the stitch marker. Mark you, we are making the shoulder area. So once you get to the stitch marker, chain 3 and then turn your work. All right, and the pattern is the same thing. Chain 3, go in that first space, where's chain 3, and also do a double crochet there to make a granny. Chain 1, go in the next space, do 2 double crochets and a chain 1. Go in the next stitch, do 2 double crochets and a chain 1. And we're going to work like that until we only have 3 or 4 rows for the shoulder area, and then that's it. We will reconnect our yarn to the other stitch marker and do the same thing. All right, please note the shoulder area is worked on both panels. You need to work the shoulder area in the front panel and also in the back panel. All right, so I'm just showing you for one panel, but you need them on the front panel and back panel. And please note, both the front panel and the back panel should be the same length and the same width. So guys, we are done with that. As I said, I did only 3 rows. Okay, 1 2 3, and then now let's work on the sleeves. I hope you understand this. To work on the sleeves, this is one of my sleeves. Please take your measurement of your shoulder area all the way to your wrist. Okay, this is my measurement from my shoulder area all the way to my wrist, and I worked up to 22 inches. Okay, remember also for the hands we are working vertically. That means we're working from the shoulder area all the way to the wrist until your work perfectly fits your arm. Please, to measure your arm area, take your biceps area, then add just an inch to it, or 2 inches, for your work not to be very baggy. Remember, for the hips area, we were taking your hips measurements, divide by 2 plus 2 inches on both panels. Okay, for the arms, we are taking bicep area plus 2 inches on each arm. So the width of my work is 14 inches and the length is 23 inches, 23 inches. Okay, so once you have your measurements in check, we are now going to start the work, which is the same thing you'll be doing over and over again. To start working on the arms, I said you take your length of the arm. I'm still using my 5.0 mm hook, and we're going to chain as long as your measurement is from your shoulder area all the way to your wrist area. So now I'm chaining the measurements from my shoulder area up to my wrist area, and then we will begin with the pattern again. Guys, I'm done with the single crochets, the chains. Now we are going in with a row of double crochet. Remember how we've been working on the front panel and back panel? It's the same thing for the sleeves. So first, when you're finished with the row of single crochets, please go in with a row of double crochets. Always skip the first 2 stitches from the hook and do a row of double crochets. So we are just now doing a row of double crochets. Okay, now we are done with our row of double crochets, and now let's begin our pattern. Please note you chain 3, turn your work, and on chain 3 we always do a double crochet here on top of chain 3. Okay, then you chain 1, skip 2 stitches. On the 3rd stitch, do a double crochet, skip 1 2, in the 3rd go in with a double crochet and another double crochet in the same space. All right, so you go in with a double crochet in the same space like that, then you chain 1, yarn over, skip 2, go in the 3rd double crochet with a double crochet and another double crochet. It's the same pattern, repetitive all along. And please note you need to make 2 sleeves of the same length and the same width. Please, you can change color if you want, or you can go with one color. So I'll meet you when you have 2 front panels and 2 sleeves, so that you can go in and join everything together. Okay guys, I'm done with my sleeves, and I'm going to put this aside so that we start joining our work together. I hope you have 2 identical sleeves, 1 front panel and 1 back panel. All right, if we're together until there, so let's go on and start joining our work. First, we need to start with our front panel and back panel. We're gonna join the shoulder areas together. Take these 2 shoulder areas, we're going to join at the top here only using a darning needle or a hook. So we're going to join at the top here. If you're using a hook, you're going to use single crochets, or if you're using a darning needle, you're going to stitch at the top part only of your shoulders area. For me, I decided to go in with a smaller hook. This is a 2.5 hook, and I'm going to go in with single crochets in each stitch at the top part here only. So let's join our work back together and start doing single crochets at the top here only. This is how your work should look once you're done. I used different shades of brown, but it's still fine. So I've joined both sides using single crochets at the top part only. Please note your work should look like this. And now we want to join in the sleeves. So flip your work around like this. Sorry, I'm flipping my work. It's so big. Sorry, I was out of focus a bit. And then straighten your work like this. Please note wrong side on top, wrong side facing up, okay? And make sure your work lays flat like this, because we now need to attach the sleeve. Take your sleeve measurements, fold it into two like this, okay? Make sure it's well aligned. All right, and then you're going to join it to the body of our work. Take a stitch marker, put it in the corner like this. In this corner, this is how you perfectly stitch in your sleeves without doing all the measurements. Take your work, put it in the middle here. You see here where you had stitched before, the shoulder area, attach it at that point, and then unfold your work around like this. And then now we are going to stitch in using our stitch marker, using our hook or our darning needle at the top part only. For the hook, we are using single crochets at the top part only here, and for the darning needle, please go in with the stitches at the top of your work like this. And we're going to stitch everything else together. Remember these two sleeves, we're going to reattach the way I've showed you, and then after that we're going to stitch everything else, the whole body, the sides of the work, the sides of our top into two like this, using a single crochets. So now I'm starting to join the sleeves, and I said I'm using single crochets. Then we will join the rest of our work together. So this is how your work should look. As I said, I went in with a row of single crochets. Please try and make your work neat. All right, as you can see, that's my work. Then now I'm going to go in with the single crochets on the other side. This is the outer side of my work, and that's it. Simple. That is how you make this beautiful dress. I hope you love this tutorial. Subscribe to the channel, write down on the comment section your thoughts, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you soon. Happy crocheting. I love you all so much. Bye bye.